I've been calling you about your kiss and gaze. Your selfish bird telling me to stay. I've run out of patience, but you don't give a damn about the things I do. I'm so sick of the ways, so I take a leap of faith, hoping you will still behave, 'cause I will be here waiting.
I don't know what's up with this world, with these men that act like boys, boys that wanna be girls, girls that wanna be boys, and women that act like girls. What's wrong with ya? No, I can't get along with ya. That's why I wrote this song for ya. I hope my prayers make it to the good Lord for ya. 'Cause you know I break the law for ya. Yeah, you know I risk it all for ya. But can't get the thing after everything that I offered ya. Guess I must be offered to ya. That's what them demons say when they be talking to ya. Guess that's why I can't get a ring and you won't answer me no more calling ya.
I've been calling you, but you don't pick it up. I'm so sick of it, still I can't stop. I've been calling you about your kiss and gaze. Your selfish bird telling me to stay. I've run out of patience, but you don't give a damn about the things I do. I'm so sick of the ways, so I take a leap of faith, hoping you will still behave, 'cause I will be here waiting.
I am like something you never had before. When those to this, you'll be back for more. That's for sure. What you laughing for? The last thing I'm finna be is the last resort. I'm so not with the back and forth. I jump straight to conclusions and I'm out the door. Drop these ends, get you a real one. You always stay in touch with who ain't feeling ya. I don't even know why you deal with them, 'cause you ain't getting back what you're giving them. I hate to burst your bubble, it's full of helium, but it ain't healing ya. You never really broke my heart, you just hurt my feelings. And what I learned from this is, if you looking for love, don't search for this. Shh. Don't search for this. So if you looking for love, don't search for this. Shh. Don't search for this. Shh. I'm done calling you. 'Cause you won't pick it up. 'Cause deep don't give up. I'm so sick, I'm done. I'm done calling you. You just play kissy face. Selfish bird telling me to find a way.
Leo, Virgo, Venus, bloodline. I'm Virgo, sunshine. I'm here for a fun time. Venus is aligned and she adding to the drum line. I came through like a cannon, Vedic Leo like a wrecking ball. I can buy my own flowers to the one who owns my heart. Acts of service and inclusion makes you worth it. Ain't gotta be perfect, but confusion makes me lose circuit. I live in passion, romantic gestures, and creative action. I pay attention to detail and reciprocate my attraction. I got goals and I hope that yours are adjacent. I love to take you places, shaking hands in same places. Be my partner for the ages, I hope you stay a while. I'm known for overthinking, but assurance calms me down. I like affection, you and I moving in one direction. Love and correction, 'cause you care about how I'm stepping. You pay attention and you adding into my ambiance. Assisting with my confidence, my other half, my confidant. Someone I be learning from, exercise a discipline. Hey universe, bring me a God who can go within, secure with me showing skin. I prefer chiffon and satin. Help me run the jewels, wrapping copper on L dragons. What he says, he makes it happen. Manifesting with his chakras. I serve and support together. Who gon' stop us? We magic. I know I get wrapped up in intellect. It's a habit. Materialize and move to the next. I need balance. Bring me a God that's intimate. Emotion set on sentiment. With patience, I know he's heaven sent. I like communication, boundaries and expectations. Check-ins on occasion. Growing on the same pages. Controlling our stimulation with infinite vibrations. Be my friend, be my friend. Bust down jokes with my folks. If you blend, then we win. We safe spaces, gate makers, celestial note takers. Be on my level, knowledge of the flyers, the naysayers. Virgo thoughts on my heart make me analyze. personify. The wands and pinnacles bring big energy. He gotta have a big throne if he gon' sit with me. Gift exchanges, holding hands, and we creating art. A universe, align me a God that's gon' mirror my heart. Be my friend, be my friend. I'm loyal, Virgo, soil like a lamp to a gem. Be my shim. Be my friend, be my friend. I'm loyal, Leo, spoiled, but I give it back times 10, and that's my hymn. Be my friend, be my friend. If you want me, then say it, so I apprehend and expend. Be my friend, be my friend. The universe brought you here, let that rom-com begin. Hey, be my friend.
Peace, peace, y'all. Welcome to the Cosmic Nobodies conversation with Sunshine Monet L. I'm very excited to be here with you guys on this hump day, on this math of 3. This is a space of expression and creativity. So it's by divine alignment that we have a divine expressor and creative individual in today's Cosmic Nobodies I keep saying convention, but I want to say conversation because it's like the same word, kind of, sort of. That's what I'll be doing to myself. But without further ado, I will let this individual introduce himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Enoch 7 Prophet. As soon as I said that, it thundered. Oh, shit. See, the universe is ready for you.
Peace. Peace. Enoch 7 Prophet, live and direct. Native
Peace
of
to the
Washington.
God.
Peace. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right.
That's
Enjoying
what's
this
up.
this monsoon out here.
Yes, this that monsoon rap. That's what Talib Kweli said. Yes, that monsoon. It's raining. It's doing whatever nature is supposed to be doing at this present time.
Yes, peace
Yeah.
to the tribe.
So I'm just
Watch.
joining. Peace to
Yeah.
everybody in this joint. I see y'all.
All
Yeah,
right. So could
Panoia.
you introduce yourself? Who are you? Who is this?
It's Enoch 7 Prophet, Washington, D.C., a native of DC. I am a dad. I'm a dad twice. So yes, I'm a dad. I'm an artist. I am a creative. I am an all around um you know what? I'm all around creative. It's not hard to explain what I do. It's never hard for me to tell people what I do, but I always want to just have maybe 1 or 2 lines to let people know that I am a creative. I am a photographer. I am a videographer. I am a MC. I am a student. I am also a teacher as well. So I encompass a lot of things, and people would say, you know, what is that saying go? What is that saying? I do wear a lot of hats, and I'm a master of the craft in which I choose to be a part of. And I always want to master that craft and learn in the process and mastering that craft too. So that's me. That's me in a nutshell.
Ashe. So we have a creative in the space. And I wanted to ask you on this platform, where does Enoch 7 Prophet come from? Where does that name come from? Is that one that was given to you, one that over time you developed? Tell us a little bit about the Enoch 7 Prophet title.
That name, I tell this story, but I say it like this. My name found me. I didn't find it. I didn't look for it. It found me. The name Enoch was not the name that found me. It was Adafa. And in rhythm, his name is Enoch. And rhythm, his name is Metatron or Megatron, as they would call from the Transformers, but it's Metatron, which is the voice of God. So I would say the year was 2001. I just graduated from Voorhees College in 2000. So it was 2001, 2002. I was on my way to Augusta, Georgia to do a show in Augusta, Georgia from DC, jumped on the Greyhound bus. It's a long ass ride. Jumped on the Greyhound bus, got to Columbia, South Carolina, where I met my good brother, Freedom Black, at the bus station. And when I stepped off the bus, I was going through my transformation at that time. I was growing my hair out. My beard was just all over the place. Um, and when I stepped off the bus, he was like, "Yo, peace, God. Damn, you look like a Dafa." And I was like, "A Dafa?" He was like, "Yeah." At that particular point in time, early 2000, I was reading the Holy Tablets. So I was almost through that prop. I was almost through halfway through the book, through the actual Holy Tablets. And he said, "Yo, did you get to a Dafa song?" And I was like, he said, did you get to the chapter about Adafa? And I was like, nah, not yet. He's like, well, shit, when you get to that chapter, then let me know. So maybe a couple of weeks later, I was jumping on that chapter of Adafa, and Adafa was Enoch, and Enoch was the one who walked with God in biblical terms. But in Enoch format, it's like physical terms. We still walk with God too, because God is within us. So we still walk with God as well. So Enoch was the monarch. So I went with Enoch for a while, but I wanted to add something else to it because everyone was naming their dog Enoch or their pets Enoch. And I'm like, what the hell is y'all doing? So I added on seventh prophet to it, because if you take my last name is Stevenson. So if you take the T out of my last name, it's seventh son. It's Enoch seventh. So it's seventh son. If you take the T out of my last name, my surname, if you take the T out, you get that. Prophet was added on to it because all of us are prophets, no matter, or prophetess. All of us are prophets and prophetess, right? So therefore, that's how Enoch seventh prophet came to place. And somewhere down the line, I'm like the seventh generation, somewhere down the line. So all of that kind of flows together. So it's Enoch seventh prophet. That's how the name found me. I didn't search for it. I didn't look for it. I didn't ask the creator for a hip hop name or nothing like that. That just came along with it. And then what came along with it was the messages that I was putting out at that time too, when I was writing, as an artist. So that's where that name came about. And I always big up Freedom Black, because he's the one that I guess saw something I didn't see at that time. And then when I started reading about who Adafa was and in the Holy Tablets, and then connecting that with the pollen that you see out here, that's part of Adafa. So when you sneeze and you say, "I bless you," that's Adafa. Adafa is the pollen that we see that's just going around. And if you are allergic to pollen, that means you're not an earthling. You know what I mean? You're of another space. So therefore, Adafa carried that message. And so, yeah, that's how that name came about. I didn't want to call myself Adafa seventh prophet. I was like, that's too much. So Enoch is what I went with.
I love that. What was your name before Enoch Seven Prophet?
Before Enoch seventh prophet, I went through a lot of names. In high school, that's crazy because this is the first time I think someone has asked me that. But in high school, I was a chubby kid in high school, and I was part of a group called Advanced Style of Poetry. And it turned out to be a group called Total Chaos. And I was the DJ for that group. So I thought that wasn't my calling at the time. I was a DJ in that group. I was a chubby kid, and everyone called me Heathcliff. So therefore, I went with the name Heathcliff. If those who are of age know the cartoon Heathcliff, I was called Heathcliff. And as I moved on, I started calling my stuff like stupid names, like Boogie something, Boogie. It was just like crazy 80s, 90s, Boogie something. Matter of fact, I still have my rhyme book, and on the front of it says Boogie. That's what I was calling myself. And then I started to get knowledge of myself and start getting knowledge of myself. I knew some gods and earths. I knew some gods at that time who was part of the Nation of Gods and Earths. And I started reading all the lessons, mathematics, supreme wisdom. I started reading those things. And then I said, let me just call myself Mr. Vic. Because Mr. Vic, if you would talk to me on the phone, you thought I was a big guy. You thought I was a tall guy until you saw me. So people were calling me, Mr. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna say Mr. Vic 2293. That's what I was calling myself, Mr. 2293, which is VI, which is 22 is V, 9 is I, and 3 is C. So you put, that's 2293 within the context of the Nation of Gods and Earth Supreme Mathematics. So I was Mr. Vic, Victorious IC. That's what I was going by, Victorious IC. And then I just started to develop more. So therefore, those are the only kind of three names I had was Heathcliff in the beginning, and then Boogie, because I was still trying to find my rhythm in this hip hop thing within the early 80s. And then the late 90s, I was calling mid 90s, it was Mr. Vic. And then 2000s changed to Enoch Seventh Prophet. So it was just a transformation or transitioning from one idea to the next idea to now concept.
It seemed like throughout the different, stages of names, it still seems like you kept your name in high places. Like your name always came from high places with those like high chakral intentions attached to them, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, was there a level of transformation that happened with your lyrics in each of those names?
Yeah, because if I look at one of my old rhymes when I was calling myself Boogie, I was talking about shit that I couldn't relate, that wasn't me. Like I made one of the rhymes where like the first rhyme was I lyrically kicked like Kung Fu Bruce Lee, and I said something about drinking 40s. I've never drunk a day in my life, but that's what I was rhyming about. And it was just like, all right, well, let me stick to what I know. So each person had his own time and frame to make who Enoch Seven Prophet is today. So the rhyme changed along with the name. Heathcliff was the DJ for the group Total Chaos, Advanced Style of Poetry. I was the DJ, but come to find out that wasn't my calling. My calling was to write rhymes. And rest in peace to my brother Bamboo, who became the DJ of the group. So from there on, I started to develop my own style. Mr. Vic was Boogie was the one who was just trying to figure his life out. Mr. Vic was the one who started to now write in a way that some intelligent rhymes, or some rhymes that I can relate to, some rhymes that made sense, some rhymes that dealt with things in the community in a sense. So 2293, Mr. Vic, Victorious IC, I was on that. And then when I went to Enoch Seven Prophet, my science got even higher. And I realized a good friend of mine, his name is Eric Miller. He told me, yo, Enoch, you dope, man. But these young boys don't know what you're talking about because your science is a little too above their pay grade. I don't want you to dumb it down, but if you could just bring it down a little bit eye level so these young folks can understand where you're coming from, that joint to be dope too. So that's what I started to bring it down a little bit, because sometimes that high science would go over people's heads and they won't grasp what you're saying, and you can lose the audience. In my opinion, you could lose the audience. So I wanted to stay in the frame of keeping the listener, keeping the ear of the listener on point. So yeah, it developed as it went on. Oh, I forgot. I was also calling myself Jai Wise. Jai Wise was the one who was an alter ego along with Mr. Vic. Mr. Vic, and then it was Jai Wise. Jai Wise was the one who would sing or sing rhyme or do other things besides what Mr. Vic could do or couldn't do. I was just showing a different type of versatility with Jai Wise. I don't use Jai Wise anymore, but that was the versatility part of it all.
Hold on, I'm trying to get my sound in order on this one.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. But yeah, that was the very groundbreaking, because when we talk about artist development, what are we referring to when we talk about artist development? I was already going through my own artist development in the early 80s, late 80s, early 90s, 2000, up into the present time. So I found who I was, try to figure out who I was in that whole aspect of hip hop. And then now understanding that is the artist development. You go through these things to find out who you are, you find your voice, you find what you want to rhyme about, and you keep pushing on that note. So that's what I did. That is a lot of names, but
Yeah, it's a journey. You've been in the hip hop realm for as long as you have been. It makes sense to have a bunch of names, especially not a bunch, but just have names during each phase of your music, your sound, the people you were around, the different producers you had, the different like outlooks that you start to develop on music. It makes sense to change your titles as you go through those different stages. So that's pretty fly that your different names tell different chapters of your story and things like that. Um,
yeah, yeah.
I definitely get you on the whole, having to not so much as water down your lyrics, but like bring it down to a layman's term so that you can have a broader audience and things like that. I'll say when
Right.
people tell me that, it kind of like triggered me, like, well, my lyrics ain't for everybody.
That's
Like,
what you would
I ain't
think.
gonna
You be
hold you.
like,
I'm
"My
very
for
coachable.
everybody. I
It's
ain't
not
doing that shit." Right,
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 right. I'll be
right,
coachable everywhere else. I'm not coachable there. I'm sorry, y'all. But
right.
so I totally get it. So does Chakra Music, the whole entity, have a journey of names and things as well? As much as each.
Uh, you know what? It only had one name, and the first
Okay.
name was called Divine Chakra Music. It's
Mm,
weird because my daughter's name is Divine. This is way before her. I drew a picture of and I would tell this story, and I think this is the first time I kind of told this story ever, and um, when I was married at the time, my wife at the time had a son. His name was Divine. Divine got murdered by his dad, by the hands of his dad, and Divine was only 4 years old. So at that time, I was trying to figure out how to. I wanted to create a label because I just wanted to create a label so I could do my own thing under that label, and it was called Divine Chakra Music. It was DEVINE, Divine Chakra Music. As time went on, I drew the picture of his face with chakra points on his face, and that was the logo. As I grew as an artist, Chakra Music grew. So I just dropped Divine and just left Chakra Music. And we made it a company or a legal company, probably on tour. We were on tour. We were coming from Augusta, Georgia. It was me, King C, Carib, Jim. It was a lot of us in that truck, in that van coming back from. We went to New Mexico, then Augusta, then we went to like South Carolina. But all that time, I needed a partner within the process. So King C, who is my business partner now, I asked him to be a part of Chakra Music. And then after that came the now what you may see as the logo, as a person in the lotus position with the chakras coming up there. Just you can see the chakras and it says Chakra Music. And it has the lotus logo. So that's how everything was birthed. It was birthed from a person, paying homage to that person because his dad did him wrong, and I wanted to pay homage to Divine in that sense. And then it was just too wordy, and I had to break it down and just make it chakra music and understand and make people understand what chakra music was. I don't do hip hop music, I do chakra music. So if you really listen to my music, it always touches different points of your chakra, whether it's the root chakra or the heart chakra or the crown chakra. It's intention in it, especially with the beats. It's always some intention in it. So that's how Chakra Music LLC came about.
Oh, I love that. Now I gotta make discography and be like, all right, which chakra is this? Which chakra is this?
Hold on, say that again because you were like going in and out. Say that one more time.
I was like, oh, now I gotta go back to your discography and listen to your songs. Like, what chakra is this? What chakra is this? I didn't think about that. That's intentional. You are your titles and the symbolism that you put, whether it's your verbal, lyrical, the visuals. Let's talk about your videography journey a little bit. Like, how did that start? When you start picking up a camera and started attaching that to the music, or did the camera come first?
The camera came last. That came in the middle of my, I would say, like, underground hip hop career, because you know, you might know this as well too, because you're a performer as well. Like, people take photos of you all the time, but you never see them posted anywhere. It's almost like they hold it in until you pass away, or you become big and they're like, oh yeah, I know Sunshine, or I know so and so. I got a picture from '96. Like, well, where the hell was that picture in '96 when I wanted it to post it after the show? So my first camera was a Nikon 3000, and I got that on my Earth Day. I probably just turned 42, maybe 41, 42. And I took that camera everywhere I went, and I took photos of everything and everybody, whether you wanted a photo or not. I was still taking photos of you. I was taking photos of homeless displacement people. I was taking photos of just strangers on the street and seeing how close I can get to them without them noticing me standing there taking a photo of them. And I used, if there are any photographers listening, I used a 35 millimeter lens on everything. So that way I had to get close to you. I had to, what I'm saying, get a distance from you or to you to take photos of you, if that's what I wanted to do. The video part of it came along later, way later, probably like maybe 10 years later, because at that point, I became a videographer for Vanguard Television Studios, because they wanted, Sister Angela Muhammad had an idea to create something called The Untold Story of the Million Man March. And I was the videographer for that documentary. And I edited that full documentary. It was like an hour and some odd change. I got to meet the minister 3 times, not once, 3 times. So by me meeting the minister, I had the opportunity to sit at his feet and take photos of him as well. So that's how I got more so into the videography side of it, from filming my own videos, because I got tired of waiting for people to, when their schedule was going clear and all this other crazy stuff. So I started doing it myself. I started figuring out how I could film a video with just me and me only, and I didn't need any other assistance. So that's how the videography part of it came along. It came in, in twos. The photography came first, and then the videography came. So that's how that kind of snowballed.
Okay. All right, just making sure the surprise is like a little gift that comes first before, this, that, and the third. Um, you know, I remember like in previous, energy exchanges with you speaking about, you know, chakra music and things being derived from your spiritual walk, your religious walk background, and the matriarchal lineage that raised you and brought you into this space. You want to expound on that a little bit? With directed you from the church to where you are at now.
Yeah. I was born and raised in the church, like some of us may have been, and then we kind of find our own way. But I was born and raised in the Pentecostal church. My grandmother, rest her soul, she was the pastor of that church. So therefore, I was a PK kid. I was a preacher's kid. I had to go to church every Sunday. I couldn't miss no Sunday. I had to go Wednesday night, Friday night, and Saturday nights for like a Saturday youth meeting. Saturday, I was in the choir. I played I come from a music background. Before I was an artist, I play all percussions and instruments. So I was the only drummer in the church. So I had to keep time. There was nobody else there to help me keep time except for my grandma clapping her hands and helping me keep time. So I was always on the drums, whether I'm singing a lead song in the choir and playing the drums. So that is my beginning stages of getting into music. You know, going on the road with my mother, who was in a group called Indigo and the Gospel Spiritualettes here in Washington, D.C., and being the youngest drummer to play drums in a gospel group in DC and going on tour. So I've been going on tour since I was 10 or 11 years old. You know what I mean? So with that being said, then I started developing my own thought process, growing up in middle school, high school, still going to church now. After I went to college, it was another chapter in my life. And that's when I was still rhyming. Even though my grandma, wasn't trying to hear that devil music, I was still rhyming. I was still, putting together these rhymes. And then when nobody was home, I would always play Heavy D or KRS One on vinyl, on her record, on her turntable. And that's how it all began, really. It started in from the church, and then my spiritual awareness started to heighten more, and getting more of the knowledge and trying to see how it overlaps with what I was learning versus what I didn't know. And, going to my grandma and asking her about, the Bible said, ye are gods and children of the Most High. So are we gods or nah, grandma? And I was getting this knowledge from the gods at Voorhees College. And she was like, yeah, we are all gods. I said, oh, okay. So we can call ourselves gods. She was like, yeah, but you going to die like a mortal man. You can call yourself God, but you're going to die like a mortal man. And does say that in the Bible as well. So she was just allowing me to express myself and also giving me some gems and jewels that go along. I never, we never had an argument about religion or spirituality. It was all cohesive in what we were learning together. At one point in time, I did teach Sunday school. That was like a pinnacle, because now I'm teaching things that maybe the Christians or the members at their church didn't know, but they were willing to hear it and talk about it and see where, things lie, where things were misinformation, where information was misled. And now we want to get this information and how we can still move as, if you're a Christian, how can we still move forward? My ex-wife, she was a part of the Nation of Islam. So she was coming to the church as well, too. So now it's like we now trying to make sure that we are all on the same spiritual page, but not stepping on spiritual toes at the same time, if that makes sense. So that's my background as coming into this hip hop culture, or the spiritual background of me.
I love to hear it, and I could definitely sympathize and empathize with all of that. Growing up in a church background, I was in the choir, and I love the choir tours. They was fun. You got to go to other people's church, eat their church food. I'm a big eater. I love to eat. Who grandma cooked this over here?
Yeah, absolutely. It was dope. It was dope, and it's just the idea of, I think that's why I share my platform with other artists and not afraid to do a show with another. Like if I do a show, I call on other artists to be a part of that show, because as a youth growing up in the church, a lot of church goers, if we go to their church and they know I play the drums, they're not letting me play the drums. They're afraid of me to play the drums, and I'm a youngin', but they wouldn't allow that. Some churches would, but other churches be like, nah, we don't want you to play. So then when that same church come to our church, my grandma be like, let that drummer play. I know he ain't let you play, but let him play when they choir get up or when they pastor get up. But she said, well, in the interim of all that, you show them, you show off. And I go in on them. And then next time we go to their church, they let me play the drums then. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah,
but
it definitely was like a little competition. It was like, even if it was a silent competition, it was just like oh no, we got it. So I definitely enjoyed that. I appreciate you sharing your journey through your music, your videography, and your photography and things. And now I want to kind of See, not everybody that's watching, whether they watched it in the past and they're hearing these notes, or they watching it presently, or they about to watch this joint in the future with the pre-recorded joint. Some of these folks have not heard your music, and I think that is so crazy. So, what we
I think that's
finna do
crazy
is,
too.
I'm gonna play some of your songs, right? And when we
Okay.
finish, I want to just tell a little bit about the song, little one
Okay.
too. I got a couple songs up here.
That's what's up. We can make it happen.
I'm trying, you acknowledge and influence me in this realm. I'm trying to get my little interview game up.
All the advantages belong to the first
But
one.
here is number
Yeah, but they're not
one.
the advantages that belong to the only wife.
Alma, I love you.
Well, then tell me you won't take another wife.
There are no guarantees. I mean,
Good for the gander. Sit around in a circle, playing duck, duck, goose in a childish manner. She knows who she wants to pick just to chase her. This ain't no guessing game. There's rules to this shit. Step by step, booklet you're never going to get. Even if you were Thelma's African fiance, eBay. You remember when Michael was trying to tell Thelma that the Nigerian culture was to have many wives? And Thelma refused to believe him and thought he was lying until good for the goose. You sit around in a circle, playing duck, duck, geese in a childish fashion. He knows who he wants to pick, but she refused to chase him. Old chicken head, fed GMO foods. Why do fools fall in love and never get back up? Cause they traumatize and project that fear on us. What's love got to do if you animate? Ike, ain't no rules to this shit. Step by step booklet you're never gonna get. Even if you Thelma's African fiance, eBay.
Yeah, I love that
So
song.
one thing y'all don't know about Enoch, y'all finna learn is he give you snippets. He give you the appetizer sampler of what he could do. He don't give you a full 5-course meal in a song. You get the appetizer, you get 3 chicken wonton tacos. Okay, that's it. you don't get 6 mozzarella sticks. You get 3 of them, John. Figure it out.
And one sauce.
And one sauce. So, can you explain that song to the audience? What is Thelma all about?
I'm a huge fan of Good Times. I'm a huge fan of Good Times. Thelma was the first, I think, crush a lot of black young boys had growing up, because now you're seeing this beautiful sister on Good Times, and sometimes that's the only time you're watching it because of Thelma at most of the times, right? So when that beat was sent to me, I started kind of jotting down what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it. That in which you showed is just a rough draft. It's not a full version of it, but it's more fuller because I added Scratch from the Roots. If you know the band The Roots, they had a vocal percussionist there. His name was Scratch. Me and Scratch, I love that brother. He's very dope. I asked him to be a part of just give me some vocal scratches on Thelma. But I wrote that out of it's hard to figure women out. Even if you Thelma's African fiance, eBay. eBay could not understand why you won't marry me. Yes, I'm African. I'm Nigerian. I got another wife, but I love you. But Thelma was like, nah, it's only me or nobody else. But eBay could not wrap that around his head. So I just wrote a rhyme around that and having some influences on it, and putting my feelings into it because that rhyme itself made sense. If a guy's playing duck, duck, goose, he's thinking that a woman's going to chase him. And she's like, nah, I'm not chasing you. Okay, so why I got to chase you? So goose, gander, gander, goose. So I put it in that frame of mind to bring some awareness to it. Like, guys, you can try to figure women out all you want, but even eBay, who was going to marry Thelma, didn't have a book to figure it out either. So the other thing about that is I wrote that rhyme while sitting on the phone. I wrote that rhyme sitting. I wrote it right here. I was on a call and I put it on mute and I wrote that entire rhyme right here while on the phone. So when I came out, it was just more of a beautiful expression of how, we feel, or how a man may feel, or, how we fall in love and never get back up because we traumatize. And then you project that fear on us. What's love got to do if you animate Ike? Ain't no rules to this shit. A step-by-step booklet you're never going to get, even if you were Thelma's African fiance, eBay. So I put Ike and Tina in it because how would you feel, Ike, if Tina started beating your ass? So, yeah, that's how that song came about.
That's a good one. Just because you got one figured out don't mean you got all of them figured out, because we snowflakes out here, because when you
Y'all
move on to the
snowflakes
next
out
one,
here,
you got to back at round 0. That's the catch 22. So now I got another one for you.
Absolutely.
Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Chakra music.
Papa was a hustler, mama had to carry me. Birth of an MC, born into this industry. Never did they want me, running through the underground. So I had to study Tai Chi just to snatch a crown. One man army, live stage show assassin. Smashing each planet that I touch, I'm galactic. Problematic to come average, not the average MC. So feel me in your shana now, deep in your spirit, huh? Girl, wake your ass up, pass me by like Forsyth. Whenever I'm in overdrive, staying alive, Tracy Morgan. It's important to be honest when you writing. I'm a gorilla in the midst of this. Raising hell, run Joe, grab your crucifix, DMCs. Scratching my head, hard to believe. At the age of 19, I planted my seed in fertile soil. Pissy staircases, incarcerated scar faces. Coming from the basement, child support cases. Working at KFC, this can't be really me. My bosses is really mean, I had no identity. Graduated with my class in 92, but I didn't walk. Blame Miss Nelson, cause you didn't talk. So I had to chalk it up and walk it out. Mama said, come back. I said, fuck that, and I'm out.
Get in and out. Get in and
I
out.
really like that one because it felt very personal. So you want to explain that one a little bit for us?
That is very personal because I had to take it back to 92. You know what I'm saying? I had to actually talk shit on this record because I rarely do get a chance to talk shit on a record. You know what I'm saying? So when I wrote that, it was out of anger and an emotional displacement that I had growing up and now high school. You know what I'm saying? Papa was a hustler. Mama had to carry me. Birth of an MC, born into this industry. Never did they want me running through the underground. But I flipped the rhyme because I said running through the underground. So I had to study June Reed just to snatch a crown, right? But I end up saying I had to study another part of martial arts to snatch a crown, right? But I did go to June Reed. I did take karate classes. You know what I'm saying? To just displace my anger in a sense of my frustration in a sense, right? My papa was a hustler. My mama did have to carry me. She didn't know she was giving birth to an MC. You know what I'm saying? Then when I was in high school, I graduated with my class in 92, but I didn't walk. Why I didn't walk? Because Miss Nelson had me to take summer classes because they were saying I was short of credits. So I took summer classes, damn it. I ruined my whole fucking summer, took classes. Come to find out, they never lost they found the credits that I missed. So I took summer classes for nothing. Wow, this is day 3 of high school graduation practice. And graduation was next day. So we left Miss Nelson. Miss Nelson, if you're listening or if you're still with us, this message is for you. So Miss Nelson, Miss Carrie Nelson from Springbrook High School, we was in her office, me and my mother. They end up finding the lost credits that I took from night school that was should have been applied so I can graduate. She told my mother I had to take summer school, which I didn't. When they found it, it was like, "Oh, we are so sorry. You can get in your line. You can get in. You can go graduate with your no graduate with my class in '92." But I didn't walk. Blame Miss Nelson because she didn't talk. So I had to chalk it up and walk it out. Mama said, "Come back." I said, "Fuck that," and I'm out. And I really said that. They was like, "Okay, you can go graduate." So I just left the office and I cut through the class, my classmates. I cut through that little line and walked out the door. My mom was like, "Where you going?" I said, "Man, fuck that. I'm out." And she followed right behind me and we got in the car and we rode out. But I did graduate in '92 from Springbrook High School. But that whole rhyme was just a lot of stuff built up. And I wanted it to make sense, you know what I'm saying? Because I do pay homage to my dad and my rhymes a lot, and my grandma and my mom's, because those are the persons who birthed me. So yeah, chalk it up. I had to chalk that up and I had to walk it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not getting in this line. Y'all made me do shit for nothing. I'm out. So yeah, that's how that went.
I do love how personal and real you get in your lyrics and how you share, all the makings of you and your words. That's really fly. Shouts
Hmm.
to Miss Nelson because if you wouldn't have held my man's back, then we wouldn't have had this fly ass verse right here. We don't know what kind of, verse we would have had instead.
At
So,
all, at all, at all.
oh,
And the hoodie that I was wearing was, it was a pay homage because in junior high school, I had another teacher. Her name was Miss Bryant. Both of them were black. Miss Bryant was an asshole. Miss Bryant told me I would never see the age of 18. Of course, I was bad in middle school. Who wasn't? But she said, you won't make it to be 18. And if you do, you won't even graduate. You won't even go to college.
mm,
And guess what? I went to college. I graduated with a sociology degree. And that's why I wore the hoodie, the Voorhees college hoodie, and the video. So it was always subliminal disses. It's like graduated with my class in '92. Yeah. So I saw Miss Bryant in a Whole Foods one day. She looked terrible. I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna run up on
all
her.
them
You
hexes she
don't look
was
like
speaking
it.
on people, them joints on back.
Yeah, I said you might not been doing nobody righteous. So I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna let you slide this go around. But yeah, that's how I was. I wanted to be very transparent, and that's how I started to be when I was writing. I started to now be very transparent because you never know who's listening. You never know who might have went through what you went through, maybe on that not on that level, but I try to make my rhymes relatable. And I think that's what my man Eric Miller was saying, just make it more relatable to the people that you want to hear it. So and I made them short and sweet because you only got a minute to impress somebody. You only got a minute to leave an impression on somebody. So I dropped 4 albums, EPs that was under a minute, and that's why them joints short like that.
I'm gonna hold you. I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of your joints add up to 11. You either got 128 seconds or 137, but a lot of yours add up to 11. I like that.
Hmm.
Even the it just so happened that the Thelma clip that I had was 119.
See, yeah, it's I don't do that on purpose, but what I have asked from my co-writers, my ancestors, what I have asked is that when it's time to stop writing, I stop.
I
I don't
sure.
force it. I don't force it. If you only get a minute and 30 seconds of a rhyme, I don't have nothing else to say after that.
I
Whatever
ain't.
I gotta say, I put it on another song.
All right, I got another song for you.
Let me see what you got.
Here we go.
Chakra music.
Troubles weighing heavy on me. Troubles on my soul weighing heavy on me. Take a pill for 30 days, the doctor ordered. Gotta keep my blood pressure in check. Don't wanna check out yet. Rolling up smoke, relieve the stress. Vented to my therapist. Wrap my mind around the shit. Most High, please forgive me if I sin a little bit. I must admit, I'm getting doper. Never lost my mojo, slowly cooking this vegan stew. Call it the bitch's brew for those who doubt me. Make you feel the wrath, verbal slow or fast. Grab the cash rules, everything around me, but we getting taxed. Middle fingers to Uncle Sam, cause this is whack. Hear my voice over King C's tracks, we stay humble. Never crumble when they call our name to hit the stage. Energy come in phases like the moon does. Control your emotions, wave in the oceans. I'm a work in progress, you can see the boots and the hi-hat. Beat it down constantly. Vented to my therapist, wrap my mind around the shit. Most High, please forgive me if I sin a little bit. I must admit, I'm getting doper. Never lost my mojo, slowly cooking this vegan stew.
Chakra music.
Now, what
Pick up the
chakra
Foxy.
were you cooking up with that one?
That is the root and the solar because of the beat. You know, it's a foundation. It's slow, it's monotone, it's a way that I can orchestrate the tones and manipulate the words on this beat without saying too much. Now that rhyme was currently written for another person's project. That person, which I'm not giving any light to, that person did not do righteously with what they said he was going to do with the record. So I snatched it back because he didn't pay for the rhyme. It's still mine. So I snatched it back. And when that beat that King sent me was sent to me, I said, damn, this goes right along with what I'm saying. Trouble's weighing heavy on me. Trouble's weighing heavy on me. Take a pill for 30 days, the doctor ordered. At that point, when I wrote that, I was going through some high blood pressure issues. So I had to take some pills to kind of lower my blood pressure and keep them in check. I was also going to therapy and I was talking to my therapist. I was also smoking a J talking to my therapist at the same time. That's in real time. So I transferred that real time into the video. So, you know, trouble's weighing heavy. When I'm taking a pill for 30 days, the doctor order. Had to keep my blood pressure in check. Don't want to check out yet. Rolling up smoke, relieve the stress. Venting to my therapist. Wrap my mind around this shit. Most High, please forgive me if I sin a little bit. I must admit, I'm getting doper. So that was just me talking to the creator. Like, oh, forgive me if I do this, but you know how I be doing. My fault. Let me get back on track. You know what I'm saying? And now talking about the bitches brew. Giving a salute to Miles Davis. You know, if you really listen to it, I am basically telling you my life story in a sense of what was going on with me at that time. So yes, chakra, the root chakra and the solar chakra, that's where they sit at. That's where that beat sits at. That's where the rhyme flows in. So now I'm stuck between the solar plex and now the root, because that is the foundation of where I'm trying to go with that song. Big up to Foxy Roxy, who actually filmed that video when he was in Puerto Rico, filmed that video and brought it back more to life, put more life into it. So that song is sometimes it's very hard to hear because I was in a different space at that time, writing it and then recording it in a different space. But yeah, that's how that song came about. It was just, once again, being transparent about me taking blood pressure medicine, you know, about me talking to my therapist, you know what I'm saying? About me just, I'm sorry, God, or I'm sorry, Creator, but you know, I sin a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I must admit, I'm still getting doper. Like you must admit, Creator, I'm still getting doper, even though I sin just a little bit. I'm still getting doper, right? And I'm slowly cooking this vegan stew. So that is the how can I put it? That is the gumbo. That is the recipe. That's the ingredients. It's like cooking it real slow. And if you understand what chakras do, that Kundalini chakra is sitting at the base of your foundation, your root chakra, which is red. So in order for that Kundalini to start rising, it has to be stimulated. And the beat stimulates the chakra to move, or that Kundalini to move. And once it starts to move, it goes to now we at the solar plex, and it just stayed there. I just wanted to stay there so now I could bring some type of sunshine or light to the situation of from red to yellow, and then you go to green, and then you go to blue, then you go to brown, blah, 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 so forth and so on. So that's the intricate part of mojo. And that's what it's about, just creating this mojo for y'all.
I love that because, like, if you look at, I really love the artwork and the videography. Shout out to my sis Roxy. Y'all both caught that heavily. I'm a big fan of all the art in the background and how they do convey that orange, that red into orange into yellow, and then it's dark, shades of these colors, so it's bringing you, and it's in alignment with the beat and the trouble way of heaven on me is kind of like it's the heavier versions of these chakras. So I really like that. I really like the way that whole thing was put together. So shout out to the both of y'all in Puerto Rico being creative. That's what's up.
Appreciate it.
All right, this is my last joint for you.
Okay.
Like this one. I'm very hyper. I'm very, very excited to play this joint. When I first saw this, I was like, oh, all right. I see. But here we go.
That's what's up.
In the studio the other time, you remember when the girl came to the studio? Yeah. What happened? I need to know.
Come on, why we always gotta go through this stuff? Why? We always gotta go through this. Why?
You are listening to Chakra Music.
Let's not rush this feeling, dealing with each other. Let's take our time until we learn each other. No limits, no blocks, no boundaries. Love has truly found me, laying in your arms. Head on your chest, listen to your heartbeat, take slow breaths. Zone out, the universe has been so kind to find a mind that's combined with intellect. Spiritual beings we are, guided by the stars. Aura, natural beauty, talking to you soothes me like ginger tea, feeds me like lentil soup, stimulates the root sprouts from the crown. Chakra, Holy Father, Mother, Creator, the source of royalty, a savior, highly favor, flowing through the bloodline. Is this a crime? The king of sorrow, Sade. I'm amazed by the grace.
Oh, man.
I love that one. And it came out so on time for the springtime. And you have this beautiful spring vibe to it. And we outside. And the beat is just giving like windows down, drive kind of energy. But only for 2 chicken nuggets and 1 sauce though. But I love it. I love it. So what was the influence? Where was your mind? Because I'm assuming this is a heart chakra flow, right? Are we heart sacral chakra area realms? Okay, cool. So where was your heart chakra and your chakras at with this one?
Well, this song had a lot of, just like I had a few names. This song had a few names. It had a few facial uplifts. It had a lot of gym time, going, work out. It had a lot of that. It stems from, I never wrote it to be a love song. I never wrote it intentionally to be that. I was writing it from a frame of what I wanted and what I wanted to see. And like I said before, we are all prophets. So therefore we speak whatever we want to in existence, whether we think it or know it or not, right? This is the remix to the first song. People would ask, What happened? Why you never tell her what happened in the studio? That means that you don't know what happened in the beginning. So therefore, I share the first video of Say, which if you watch the first video of Say, Foxy Roxy's in it. Breezy Malone is in it, and Carib Jim is in it. Foxy Roxy is wearing green, which is the heart chakra. Carib Jim is wearing blue, which is the throat chakra. She's very vocal in that first video. That's why she's wearing blue. Breezy Malone is wearing white, so she's the crown chakra. So we dealing on chakras once again. If you go back into the YouTube and type in Stay featuring Maya, you will see the video. Within that video, it has all the studio effects to it. But that song was basically written not even in the mind frame of making it a love song or get on my LL Cool J or nothing like that. I didn't have that in mind. It was just how I felt and what I wanted to see. Right? Big up to Richard, who is Get Rich. Big up to him and Carib Jim, who actually produced that record, the remix of Say. Carib wanted it to still have the same effect Say did, the first original one, but now it's more of an upbeat. It's more light. It's more fun. It's more spring. So that's why we promoted it in February 14th on Valentine's Day, which is my dad's Earth Day. He would have been 76. So I put it out on his Earth Day, February 14th. Everything strategically planned because it felt like a spring song. And when we shot and we filmed the video in March, it was nice out. And right now the video is up to, I think, 8K. I think it's like 8,000 views of that video now. So it's an homage song. I see it now. It's more of a paying homage to love, to having fun, to that spring vibe of new beginnings and things happening. So yeah, that's now I see how that song was written, but I didn't have intent to write it that way. But my co-writers, I guess, saw it like, hey, just write it this way. And now I see it as more of like a love song or a romantic song, and everyone likes it. So I enjoyed filming that. Big up to Anthony Tillman who filmed that video. So yeah, it was really dope. It was a really good vibe.
I really loved it. I love that whole song and how it was put together, everything. So I'm gonna wrap this joint up. I got one more song we gonna close ourselves out with. But before we do, can you let us know where we can find you, your music, social media? Also, you got a podcast that you do yourself. Can you shout your podcast out? What else can we expect from Enoch 7 Project?
Word. So my podcast is called Mental Salvation Radio, named after one of my songs on my second album that I put out, Mental Salvation Radio, which is on wowuradio.net. Mental Salvation Radio. I play dope music with the intent of storytelling. The intent of storytelling of my own stories, of what I've been through, and added them and making them part of the songs that I do play. On the other front of that, I have something called Salvation Sundays, which I do every other Sunday on Instagram, and I dedicate that to the Black woman. It's the celebrating the entrepreneurial spirit of the Black woman. Sunshine Monet L has been on there twice. She was on there last Sunday, and it's just dedication to the Black women who are doing their thing within this entrepreneurial spirit. Also, you can find me on all social media platforms, Enoch 7th Prophet. It's not the 7th Prophet, it's Enoch 7th Prophet, Prophet. And also, before I go, I do have some journals. I do, you go to Amazon and type in, I am dope, blame my parents. That is the publishing company. I'm dope, blame my parents, and all of the journals will pop up, and they are basically created for and by my daughter. So my daughter is Divine Wisdom Rose, and I made her the publishing author of all of the journals that you will purchase. So if something happens to me tomorrow, she has some money that's going to continue to come, and promote, and her mom knows, and this and that. So it's just creating some type of wealth for her. And also, I'm not going nowhere anytime soon. So once these money start coming in, she can start getting a allowance from the books that she makes. Or she's only 3. She just turned 3 on March 29th. So when she turns 10, now she, you never know. So these are the journals here. Sunshine Monet L has purchased a journal as well. So these are the journals right here. So yeah. And music wise, we're just going to continue to push this Say remix. By the end of the year, you will hear 4 new records by me. But this record, Say, we're going to be promoting this for the next 2 months, and we're going to continue to promote it because that's what your favorite artists do. They put out one record and promote it, and then put out the album. So we're going to follow some industry standards and see how long we can do this. But I have some more dope joints coming, and they were all produced by Get Rich, and they're all remixes. So be on the lookout for that.
Bet. So we gonna play Say one more time, and then I got another song we gonna close ourselves out with. But yes, y'all make sure y'all get that journal. I got mine, especially when y'all see me on Panoia Starseed, Planetary Forecast. I really like the way the journal is broken down in the inside. Are all the journals broken down in the inside like that?
No, the I'm Dope Blame My Parents journal, there's just like line paper in it that you can just write your own thoughts
I want
out.
that too because I like the cover.
The Manifestation journal has it broken down just like the prayer journal is. The Dream journal is broken down as like what the has a section just like the prayer journal as well.
Oh, that's fly. So I need all 3. That dope journal gonna be the rhyming book journal. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
on your story. So y'all make sure y'all check out Enoch 7 Prophet, his music, his podcast, the journals that he has, manifested with for and with his baby girl. We're gonna play Say again, and then we're gonna play another joint. Again, thank you, Enoch, for being on the show. I really appreciate the trust. And peace
Really
to the
appreciate you.
Cosmic Nobodies out there. Thank y'all for tuning in. And y'all can catch me on this pop-up podcast the next time we pop up. And reach out if you want to be on the next episode.
Yeah. I'm about to put that link in the chat room.
What?
I just want to know what happened
When?
in the studio the other time. You remember when the girl came to the studio?
Yeah.
What happened? I need to know.
Come on, why we always gotta go through this stuff? Why? We always gotta go through this. Why?
You are listening to Shotgun Music.
Let's not rush this feeling, dealing with each other. Let's take our time until we learn each other. No limits, no blocks, no boundaries. Love has truly found me, laying in your arms. Head on your chest, listen to your heartbeat, take slow breaths. Zone out, the universe has been so kind to find a mind that's combined with intellect. Spiritual beings we are, guided by the stars. Aura, natural beauty, talking to you soothes me like ginger tea, feeds me like lentil soup, stimulates the root sprouts from the crown. Chakra, Holy Father, Mother, Creator, the source of royalty, a savior, highly favor, flowing through the bloodline. Is this a crime? The king of sorrow, Sade. I'm amazed by the grace.
Oh, man.
Hey, Sunshine Monet with the affirmations to enjoy your day with Sunshine Monet.
You are listening to Shotgun Music.
I can't came through with intentions of destruction. You said you wanted freedom, well it's me then that you wanted. I moved in gratitude as my soul was being summoned. The consciousness has returned, Christ is really coming. I make these flows for the souls that drift in indigo. I make some goals for they glow since they was embryos. Access the records, they lectures, keep your principles. Enemies infect you, don't let them reach your pinnacles. Reversing curses that's embedded in religion. They wound up in your soul, that's why you feel tension. I'm remixing declensions before Sumerians existed. It's something in the water, don't get caught, you'll get acidic. I bury enemies, pay pinnacles to the witness. You say my name in threes, I appear in your vision. Write Iliads of me, I'm the witcher in your system. Silly as can be, there's no opposite in infinite. I'm the goddess of crossroads, touching all directions. With the skull and crossbones that call to the vexers. I applaud the protectors, I'm the god of inflection. They see the demon in me and still pause the respecters. I need no translation, vibrating from universe. My throat mansplaining while my yoni do the work. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arts. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arcs. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arcs. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arcs.
Enoch 7 prophet, move like the full winds do. My energy is useful, my thoughts are old school. So I move with a Bob Slim. Say I'm sexy, haircut like Anita Baker, real lovely. Caught up in the rapture, it's kinda risque. Kisses and faces on public is real frisky. Touche.
You are listening to Chakra Music.
Mask off.